So in this video, we are going to cover the basic types of soup. So for this video, I'm just going to cover the clear soup. And then in the next video, I'll cover the thick soup. So there are two basic types of soup. There's a clear soup and then there's a thick soup. And there are subcategories and other varieties there in those categories. So the very first one we're covering here is the clear. And when we talk about clear soup, we are talking about a soup that has a stock or a broth base. So your previous lessons have been focused on stock and making stock. And one thing that we covered and that you should know by now is that stock has a better mouthfeel and more flavor than a broth. So a stock is fuller in flavor, it's got more body, and it's a better flavored product than a broth is. It doesn't take very long to make a broth, a couple of hours, and to get a good stock, it's going to take a lot longer. It's an all day kind of thing. Some examples of clear soups would be chicken noodle, Italian wedding soup, which is here at the top. It's got the like meatballs and greens in it and little pastas. Japanese pho or fa is an example. Ramen, if you most of my students are familiar with the ramen noodles that come in the package, but if you've ever been somewhere and had real ramen, you've had probably stock and a better quality of the soup there than what comes out of that little flavor packet inside the package that you buy. Egg drop soup. So if you go to Chinese buffet and you see the egg drop soup, that would be a clear soup example. Miso soup is also an example of clear soup. So a soup in which essentially you see the broth, you can see the actual stock in it. That would be your clear soup examples. Some ingredients that are utilized often in the clear soup are going to be meat and vegetables and generally some form of a starch. So starch helps thicken it, and generally that starch is not potatoes. So for most all of these photos, what you see here is a noodle. So noodles or rice are going to be a lot more common. Barley is a grain, and so adding some sort of pasta, a grain, or rice or noodle, that's going to be the more common for the clear soup as far as those ingredients go. So consomme is a type of clear soup. It is very rich and flavorful. It's made from a stock that's been clarified. So what they do is they take a stock and they add what's called clear meat. And clear meat, and I guess it's called that because it clears everything out. It is a mixture of ground meats, mirepoix, tomatoes, egg whites, and onion brulee. Onion brulee translates down to burnt onion, and it is literally an onion that has been burnt. So here's a photograph here of it. It's been cut in half. They scorched out the sides. We're going beyond caramelization here, and we're going for that burnt flavor, and that adds flavor and color to that consomme. Those ingredients are all simmered very slowly, and as they cook, they put their flavor into the liquid, but they clump together and bond together and they float to the top. And at that point, it's called a raft. And when it's floating around, then you clarify the consomme and you take it out. But when it all bonds together, it takes everything out of the consomme, so it's really nice and really clear. But it has like a whole lot of flavor in it. So here's a photograph here of what consomme looks like. So if you ever get the opportunity and you order it out somewhere, then you can see that it's really clear. It looks kind of like tea, but it has a lot of flavor in it. So it's really interesting. So consomme.